All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wonderful people. Once again, you're welcome to Let's Talk TV, your one and only YouTube platform that gives you quality news and information on everything Biafra, everything trending in Biafran struggle. That is the kind of video, that is kind of news we give out to you. Now, straight up to the issue on ground. So it has actually come to our notice that Musa, that is the Chief of Defense Staff of the Zoological Republic of Nigeria, you know, is doing everything possible, or rather, has chosen that in his tenure as the Chief of Defense Staff (CDS), that his major focus is making sure that he fights the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá. I wonder how much they've given him to make sure he brings down Simon Èkpá. That is why Musa have blindly been doing everything possible to bring down the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá. Now, the big news is that currently Musa is trying to align, with South Africa, just the same way they aligned with Kenya to bring down Nnamdi Kanu. So, how they try to use African countries, to run their evil, to support them, to continue to oppress and continue to run their evil. Currently, South Africa is protesting against bad government. Kenya, we're seeing what is happening in Kenya, but that is aside. Musa has vowed that the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá is his major problem. The information gotten is that they've gone to South Africa to get more ammunition and to ally with them, to support so that they can form partnership in finding a way to bring down the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá and the Biafran freedom. But before I go on, before I play the video and the explanation and the analysis, the full analysis on the issue, I want to tell you that when they had their agenda to bring down Nnamdi Kanu, they felt their major aim and why they fought and did everything possible, to bring Nnamdi Kanu, to abduct him, was that they felt generally that Nnamdi Kanu was like the major problem, that he is the only person that has interest in fighting for this Biafran struggle. They felt Biafra is all about Nnamdi Kanu. They failed to understand that Biafra is not just about one person. Just the same way I'll keep on saying, Biafra is not about Nnamdi Kanu or Prime Minister Simon Èkpá. Even though the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá finishes and moves on, another person will arise. This is how deep this whole thing is. So it's not about one person. It is about, a spirit carrying the people along. This is what it is all about. So I think these people are actually fighting the wrong people, because nothing can stop Biafra. When they come to the actualization that nothing can stop Biafra, then definitely they will start pursuing the bandits and the terrorists, and the criminals that is destroying their country. Let them go to the Fulani side. Let them go to the Hausa region. Let them attack the Bokos, who have been destroying their land, who have been kidnapping, who have been abducting innocent people. These shameless caliphates and shameless, cowards couldn't even fight those Bokos in Sambisa. They couldn't take their fighter jet there. Oh, but yet they are forming allies to come to Imo State. They are bringing fighter jets to Imo State. And for those of you who still doubt the fact that there is no WAR happening in Biafraland, I am assuring you that it is going on. The Nigerian government is in WAR with the Biafra. And when you listen to this analysis, this particular video that I'm going to post, then you will understand why I said this. But meanwhile, before we play the main video, I want you to listen to this audio of Eninaya Abaribe with other of his cohorts who are claiming that they are doing everything. In fact, Eninaya Abaribe said that he was with Nnamdi Kanu on Monday. These are lies. We'll discuss about these in the next video that we're going to post. But meanwhile, watch this and meet me on the comment section.
This is the members of the Southeast Senate Caucus. And we're here to see the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice on a very, very important matter to the people of the Southeast. It's the matter concerning Nnamdi Kanu and the continued legal wranglings concerning his incarceration. The Southeast Senate Caucus, just like the rest of the members of the Southeast, put the business leaders, the clergy, the political people, and everybody in the Southeast are all very worried about it, knowing that that has been the fulcrum, I would say, for what is going on in the Southeast regarding the insecurity. All the criminals and all the people going around causing mayhem in the Southeast have all said that it is because Nnamdi Kanu is being held. We know that this is not the truth. It's just that we have gotten to the point where people are now hijacking a legitimate call for his release and turning it into something that has led to deaths and destruction of properties and so many other undescribable mayhem that is going on in the Southeast. And so we came to meet with the Minister of Justice and Attorney General because we know that at the end of the day, everything that happens in the political, in the legal scheme will eventually come to his office. And we came to appeal to him to help us to let Mr. President know that all leaders of the Southeast feel that the release of Nnamdi Kanu will help in dousing all the tensions and everything that is going on in the Southeast. And we are very, very certain that his duty as the Attorney General also gives him the powers of nolle prosequi, the powers of making sure that litigations don't continue and the sufferings of the people of the Southeast continue. That is the essence of why we came here. And I think you know also, I think it's also clear that several different groups in the Southeast, including the Southeast governors who met yesterday, have all been making exactly the same type of plea. And we think that this will help us to bring to an end all the insecurity problems going on presently.
So focus make Mr. Kanu to know whether it is willing to accept either conditional release or not.
Yes, on behalf of the caucus, I met with Nnamdi Kanu myself on behalf of the rest of the caucus. on Monday. Today is Wednesday. We met with him between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. on Monday, and he is very, very supportive of this, our plea to the President and of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Yes.
They need the senator to be suspected this time around. We will be given to
I don't think that is necessary to ask. We came here on his behalf, and that tells you that any of our senators that you see, the 15 of us, by the way, the 15 of us signed this letter. A few of us are not here just for reasons of logistics and all that. Some are also not. But we all signed the letter, and you will also have a copy of the letters that we did. So any senator in the Southeast is very willing. The governors are willing. The business leaders are willing. The clergy, they are willing. So the traditional rulers are also willing. So I do not think that anything will stop us if it comes to that. And he has also assured me that he is ready to fulfill any conditions that are put that will lead to his early release.
Sir, is there any positive response from the AGF?
Yes, the AGF received us very warmly and also told us that, of course, this is a request for which he has to go and study it, digest it, and take to the president, because he won't take the ultimate decision. I think it's a decision of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
So, lastly, I don't know if I asked you a question, I came late. What is your appeal to the president of this very case?
The appeal is that this matter cannot be resolved legally, and if we continue with the legal wrangling, that it will continue to cause the insecurities, because the legitimate demands has been hijacked by criminals, undesirables, and all manners of elements who have used it to perpetrate their own nefarious deals on the rest of the people of the Southeast. Nobody in the Southeast likes what is going on. People cannot go out of their houses on Mondays. People are maimed and killed and all that. And some people are roaming around, killing even security men in the name of looking for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. And Nnamdi Kanu himself also confirmed to me last Monday that he never made any request of that nature, that anybody should go and kill people. In fact, he was very pained that the Southeast is suffering because of this. And he assured me that when the day is out is also the day that they will now know those who are legitimate agitators and those who are criminal elements.
That this very broadcast will go viral. Very, very important. It's part of your contribution while we move. All right. Without wasting further time, I want us to deliberate on the first agenda. The first agenda is this one on your screen. So I want us, we are not going to take time, we're not going to waste any time here, because I have already made a pre-recorded broadcast on this, even though I didn't, use or have enough time to analyze it, but at least the pre-recorded broadcast is already out there. So let us just, talk about it briefly before we move into the next segment. Now, you can see from Daily Post Nigeria, they said, Nigeria CDS, Chief of Defense Staff, seeks stronger ties with South Africa Defense Forces. Seeks stronger ties with South Africa Defense Forces. So my question is, how comes the so-called giant of Africa is the one seeking stronger ties with another African country. How? And you called yourself the giant of Africa. So what kind of giant are you? What type of giant are you? If you are the giant of Africa, then other countries should be seeking stronger ties with you, not you seeking stronger ties with other countries. And for the fact that, as far as I'm concerned, I do not remember when was the last time. I can't remember the last time any country in Africa, even small countries, even small countries in Africa, seek stronger ties with the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom. I can't remember when was. If there's something like that, that should be in the 80s. That should be in the 80s. Yes. That should be in the 80s, if there's anything like that. Not now, or maybe in the 90s, if I may say in the 90s, because even in the 90s, things were still somehow better than the way it is now. So maybe in the 90s, early 90s, stroke late 90s. But from 2000 moving forward, from new millennium, I can't remember any African country, even the smallest one like Benin Republic, seeking stronger ties with Israel. How can you seek ties with a terrorist organization, a terrorist country? You can't seek, or you think they don't know what is going on in the zoo. They all understand every single thing happening in the zoo, especially in Èkpá and internet and social media. Now they say the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher. When you say Christopher, make sure you add Mohammed Musa. General Christopher Mohammed Musa has called for reinforcement of ties between the armed forces of Nigeria and the South African National Defense Force towards addressing the multifaceted security challenges bedeviling the African continent. Musa made the call during an official visit to the Chief of South African National Defense Force, SANDF, General Rudzani Mapwanya, in Pretoria, South Africa. A statement by the Acting Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tukur Gusau, on Tuesday in Abuja, described the meeting as a panacea to addressing the multifaceted challenges bedeviling the continent. They said, he added that the need for mutual cooperation and reinforcement of bilateral ties were also paramount. According to him, the closed-door meeting with his South African counterpart focused on various measures to address regional security challenges. That is where I want to come in. That is exactly where I may not even, read further. I want to ask a very simple question, but all important. They said, according to him, the closed-door meeting with his South African counterpart focused on various measures to address regional security challenges. Regional security challenges. This is where my problem is. Regional security challenges. The last time I checked, Africa as a continent is not referred as regional continent. The last time I checked, it's not being referred as a regional continent. Even if you are talking about world map, the world at large, yet it is still, you may be right to say Africa is a region, African, region, or I don't know how to put it. But the last time I checked, Africa as a continent is not being called regional continent of Africa. So when they say address regional security challenges. Regional security challenges, that means either West African region or East African region, North African region, or South African region. So now, as far as South Africa is concerned, South Africa has no, regional ties with West Africa, with a West African country. Please pay attention to this. We are not going to take time analyzing this. South Africa as a country has no regional ties with any West African country that you have to be discussing about regional security challenges. So for the zoo to travel all the way from the zoo to South Africa, discussing about regional security challenges, so meaning that the zoo is calling South Africa on a neutral ground, right? Let us first of all keep Biafra, struggle, by the side, on a neutral ground, meaning that the zoo is inviting or calling or asking South African, government and its military to come and help to solve the security challenges of the West African region, because the zoo is one that went to South Africa seeking for this help. You understand? So on a plain terms now, on a neutral ground, so meaning that the zoo, as the so-called, leaders of ECOWAS, is begging South Africa to come to their aid to solve the West African regional security challenges, of which now South Africa as a nation on their own, as a country on their own, because there is no nation in Africa apart from maybe somehow Ethiopia, because they were never colonized. I believe they decided to be a nation of their own. So now, this country called South Africa have their own, security challenges on their own, even though it is not, a kind of threat that warrant them to roll out their military, because I understand that it is only in the zoo that the soldiers, the military, is out in the street. We are watching protests in Kenya, and I saw where they were debating that the court has no power, has no constitutional power to order the president to roll out the military on a civil matter, on civil matters. You understand? So they said that the only institution that has the power, the constitutional power, to instruct the president to roll out military on the street is the Senate, the House of Assembly. That is what they said, meaning that there is no, meaning that you cannot see any soldier wearing khaki uniform, military uniform, with AK-47 on the street of Kenya. What you must see there is police, not military. And I still believe that every other country in the zoo is like, in Africa is like that. They respect the law that military is for the, for external threat. Military is built to safeguard the territorial integrity of every nation, not for internal affairs. Police is the one trained to handle internal affairs, not in the zoo. So now, coming back to the discussion, I believe that South Africa also have their own security issues, even though it's not something that warrants military, a confrontation. So now the zoo is begging South Africa to come to their aid to solve West Africa regional security challenges. Now, this is on a plain term based on what is on your screen. Now, given that the challenges of the zoo, or the security challenges in the zoo, is even more alarming than that of other countries in West Africa. Pay attention, please. Given the situation, given the security situation in the zoo, which is more alarming than that of other countries in West Africa, that means that the zoo has no moral right or moral justification or even the opportunity to ask or request another country to come to the aid of these West African countries or West African region, because they have not been able to solve their own, security challenges inside their own country, which is the zoo. I don't know if you're paying attention. So that means that these so-called regional security challenges you see here is just a camouflage for the people, just for me and you reading and watching. It is not really the actual discussion within this during this meeting, because there is no how Musa will come out and tell us, I have discussed with my South African counterpart to supply us more weapons or give us more soldiers to confront the Biafra, secessionists. It is not possible. If you are waiting to hear that from Musa, I am sorry to disappoint you. You can never hear that. You can never see that. So that means Mohammed Musa has run to SA to beg. If you say ask, you look as if he gave them something to keep for him. To beg the SA government and its military to supply them military personnel and equipment to confront, to suppress Biafra. Because anytime you see or you hear that the zoo is purchasing weapon or purchasing any hardware whatsoever, or recruiting soldiers, I want you to understand that they are not recruiting soldiers or purchasing military hardware to confront the Boko Haram, or to confront the Al Qaeda, or to confront ISWAP, or to confront what's their names? All these terrorists in the northern part of the zoo. I want you to understand this. You must understand it today. That anytime the zoo Janjaweed is recruiting soldiers or purchasing any military hardware from any foreign country, is strictly meant to confront Biafra Liberation Army. Is strictly to confront the Biafra secessionists, according to what they call us. I want you to know that today. So Musa, based on the exploit, based on the exploit of the Biafra Liberation Army, based on the resistance of the Biafra Liberation Army and Biafra, or should I say the Biafra Defense Forces, based on the resistance and the robust strategy, the robust, strategy of the Biafra Defense Forces, based on the way we approach this struggle, we have not just made it impossible for the zoo to win the war, but we have actually defeated the zoo. I don't know if you're paying attention. We have not only made it possible for the zoo to win the war, but we have also defeated the zoo because of our strategy and our determination to succeed. We are holding the zoo from all angles in their block. We are holding them on their blockers because they can't escape what is happening or what is coming to them. And remember, we are deciding the pace of this very battle. We can't allow the zoo to decide the pace. We are deciding the pace. That is the reason why they are crying on television. Every day they go, they cry. Musa has run all the way from the zoo to the to SA, begging them for help in order to defeat Biafra. Not for Boko Haram, because you all heard what happened the other day. Because they are the ones who formed Boko Haram. They formed Al-Qaeda. They formed ISWAP. They formed all of them, including Fulani bandits. They formed all of them. They sponsor all of them. We don't have to expose that one because it's already exposed, including their politicians, their police commissioners. They have already said all. They have said it all. So, having said that, I want us to move into the next segment. Please, I want to ask you to share this very broadcast. It's very, very important. Today's date is 3rd of July, 2024, and the time right now is exactly 39 minutes past 7 p.m. here in the land of Chukwokika, Biama. Please, I want you to share this very broadcast and, of course, keep hitting the like button. We want more people to join this very live presentation so that we are going to work together to achieve a common goal this very evening. Very, very important, because we have a lot to discuss about, and of course concerning our struggle and Nnamdi Kanu. Now let us move into the next segment, and the first one I want us to see is this one.